The Miami Heat are back in the final. Game 7, the Heat take down the Celtics 103-84. It was a no-doubter 1 year later after the Heat losing practically by a couple of points in a missed three-pointer by Jimmy Butler with like 5 or 6 seconds remaining, down by 1. Jimmy said it in the press conference last year that, hey, he's rolling with the same dogs that he played with, and they'll be back next year and have enough to get over the hump. And that's exactly what the Miami Heat did 1 year later. Regardless of the fact, this series was out of control. Heat go up 3-0, then crumble completely, lose the next 3, including a heartbreaker on Saturday with a tip-in by Derek White that the series should have been over. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They came to Boston, and like they've done all playoff long as the A seed, they have been winning on the road. Won 3 games in Boston to win this series. It's not an easy thing to do. But the Heat are heading back to the finals. And Jimmy came up and, like he needed to do, had a Jimmy playoff type game. He really went to sleep for about 11 and a half quarters before the fourth quarter of Game 6, where he actually scored like 15. But today, he was on his game. 28 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. But the true story of the game, the guy that carried him throughout, had a huge Game 6 and carried that over. Actually picked up where he left off in Game 6, was Caleb freaking Martin. Put some respect on his name. That dude's going to get paid next season with a nice contract. 26 points, 4 from 6 from beyond the arc, 10 rebounds. He was the man that led the team tonight. Bam Adebayo struggled. Offensively, only 12 points, but had himself 10 boards, 7 assists. He struggled from the field. However, you know what? He played defense, so he was doing his thing. Gabe Vincent, who's, remember got hobbled, came back, had himself 10 points. Duncan Robinson, again, played 20 minutes, gave you 10 points, 2 out of 3. Story of the game for the Heat, where they completely control the game, was from beyond the arc. They went 14 for 28, shot 50% from beyond the arc. Remember that he was the lowest scoring team in the NBA during the regular season. Not shoot well from beyond the arc also throughout the year. But they were better in the series against Boston. Boston shot 9 for 42. That's the huge difference of the game. I mean, you're looking at a difference of plus 15. 5 more three-pointers made by the Heat, and they took about 14 less than the Celtics. Jason Tatum, man, got to give him a shout out. Even though he didn't play great, but he did hurt his ankle early on, but played 42 huge minutes, still giving his all. 14 points, and a lot of that was because he was hobbled throughout the whole game, hurt his ankle early in the game, but stayed in the game. You got to give him credit. 11 boards. He did the best he could. Jaylen Brown, 8 for 23. He was struggling except for Game 6, 19 points. Derek White, back-to-back solid games. A hero of Game 6, had himself 18 points in this one. Again, they all shot really bad from beyond the arc. You can't win with 9 for 42 from beyond the arc. The rebounding battle was pretty similar. Like the Heat started this game doing what they were supposed to be doing, held the Celtics to 15 points in the first quarter. We knew from the beginning that they were going to play D. They were going to hustle the other team. That was what they were supposed to be doing, and that's what they did. Caleb Martin. Wow. This dude, 4 20-point games during the regular season. My man has had 4 20-point games in the playoffs alone. Back-to-back huge games with Caleb Martin, who's been doing it consistently in this playoff. And here's the thing, man. You got to give the pedigree, the preparedness, the coaching to Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra, underrated. He's going back to his 6th NBA final, 6 in his 15-year coaching career. We know he won. He won 2 of them with LeBron and the Big Three. However, he's never had superstars since then, and he's consistently making the playoffs. This time they're going to the finals again. That's twice already in the last 4 years. Since Jimmy's been with the team. Look, Spo outcoached Joe Mazzulla. Shout out to Joe. Joe Mazzulla is a good dude. I love this guy. He's a good Christian, but he was way over his head. Not bad for a rookie coach, somebody that was thrown in there in the interim. But at the end of the day, Eric Spoelstra reserves his flowers, man. He's respected, but at the same time, he is not given enough credit for how great of a coach he is. So shout out to him. His preparation, the way he leads his team, and he gets the best out of his players. is showed this year, and it shows every single season in the playoffs. People love to play for him. When you just take a look at the guys he has playing for him. Remember, Caleb Martin was dropped from the Hornets, released, all right? Here comes the Heat, picked him up. This guy becomes a huge contributor, all right, with the Heat this year, all right? Struz, undrafted. Gabe Vincent, undrafted. Duncan Robinson, undrafted. These are the players that stepped up for him. They came in and contributed when they need to, without Tyler Hero, without Victor Oladipo, and now they're heading to the finals to face the Nuggets. Buckle up, because we're going to see a big difference. We're going to see what can the Nuggets do. I think that the Heat will be ready on Thursday. Again, on paper, Nuggets have the better team. But I am not going to give you anything on the preview. I'm going to do our own show, which I'm probably going to go live tomorrow to go ahead and give you the a preview of the NBA Finals. But right now, it's all about the Heat. Let's keep the Heat and Jimmy Butler his flower and Eric Spoelstra, because they are the A seed going to the finals and honestly played a tough game. The Celtics were really, really close, man, to making history. And unfortunately, they just fell a little short. The Heat almost had the biggest debacle and biggest choke job in the history of the NBA, but they clamped it down in Game 7 and avoided that. And you know what? You needed Jimmy Butler to beat Jimmy playoffs, and that's exactly what happened. Caleb Martin came along for the ride. It is what it is, baby. The Heat are going to the NBA Finals. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is your boy, E-Man, from the Albert Joe Sports Talk with your Heat and Celtics Game 7 post-game reaction. Peace.
Yo!